What a day. What a day. Oh, we just blew one out right there. It's freaking nuts. Freaking nuts. Look at this fish. Look at that guy. Guys, they're crushing the spinner crab. They're smoking the crab. Guys, I've never fished this bank before, ever. I'm just going down the bank with the spinner crab. And that's the third fish now, so the fish are on the left side of the tiny little grass points. I've had 3 fish now, they've all come off the same way. So I'm still gonna pitch sometimes in the little pockets and stuff, but my main focus now is gonna be on the left side of the points, because that's where a lot of the fish have come from. So. What's up, guys? Captain Steven coming at ya.
How y'all doing? Captain Nick.
We got Captain Nick with us today. It's nasty out, a little bit of a weather day, so we are hanging out, getting ready for Louisiana, getting ready for Delacroix for the divisional championship, and hopefully if we qualify the championship. So that said, Nick, what we got going on?
So we'll show y'all some baits that we're probably going to be using in Louisiana. Number one bait, the goat. Whether it's the billy goat, the normal size goat. I mean, these are the best all-around baits. This is one of my number one confidence baits right here. Canada craw is a great color. Stained water, clean water, dirty water. It's probably one of my number one baits that I'm throwing. That and the 4-inch jerk shads. Those are my 2 go-tos. If I can't catch them on that, it's a tough day.
So Nick, you threw this in our tournament in April, right? And caught fish on. I'm pretty sure you did.
What day? What tournament? Georgetown?
No, for the Go Live. You used these.
Yes.
Yeah, confidence bait. So in a lot of our videos, guys, Nick, I love fishing with Nick. As you know, I think we click very well. He's an excellent angler, excellent guide. So just real quick, he fishes out of Isle of Palms Marina. You keep your boat there. And so if he's full-time, hit him up, guys. Hit him up. You won't hurt my feelings if you fish with him at all. He's a very good friend of mine, and he's an excellent, excellent teacher and an excellent fishing coach as well. So hit him up. He has a lot of experience all over the place fishing. So all right, so Nick loves the goat. Y'all know I love the kicker crabs, so we've got these. We're getting stocked up on those. And topwater, Nick. Where's your topwater? Show us that topwater plug.
So this is the Mirror Lure Top Pup. You can cast this thing a mile. It's compact, little heavy, so you can chunk it. But this is a great all-around topwater plug. Trout, redfish. It's got the deeper one knock kind of style, which I really like, rather than like a bunch of little beads. I think that one knock is great for redfish and for bigger trout for sure. And then this just chartreuse top, chartreuse bottom. That's a confidence color for me.
And guys, at least for me, when I'm fishing topwater, when I cast out my plug, I like it to sit for 5 or 10 seconds. John watched a lot of our videos. He knows. Stan watches our videos and fishes with me. They all know this. When we cast those plugs out, I'm always telling them, guys, let it sit there for a little while. And that's a lot of times that's when the big reds and trout will come smoke it before you even work it. Here it is starting to rain. Some other baits. We got the Molotron LT. We've actually been catching some bull reds on this lately here in South Carolina. But that could be a player in Louisiana, especially the chartreuse and the purple.
They're probably a little bit ahead of us on the on the finger mullet side of things, and so that's a great bait to throw when the finger mullet are starting to swim on top. And you know, instead of throwing the cast net, just pull one of those out of the tackle bag and start throwing that thing.
Another bait that I love, guys, is the gold mullet color skitterwalk. This is the bigger model, the 11. A lot of times I throw the 08 size, but this plug, and I think you were one of the ones.
That's an awesome plug. I love that color too.
You got me on this, the big skitterwalks. I've had some good success in Louisiana on the skitterwalk. So tackle, guys, I love a good bait caster. This is the Penn Fathom 200 size. We've got 40-pound braid on here. I normally run a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, and this is a 7-foot 3-inch medium heavy Fenwick Elite bass rod. That is my favorite rod. If y'all go back, you can see some of our videos. Winching in fish, winching in fish like this guy with this rod. And Nick didn't bring any of his rods over because this is kind of an impromptu video. But what are you throwing?
I'm throwing some Daiwa rods. I'm throwing the Daiwa Isla spinning rods and bait casting rods, and then I'm also throwing the new Daiwa TD Soul AGS spinning rods, and those are great rods. I throw.
They have the carbon fiber.
They have the carbon guides,
yeah.
the AGS guides, super smooth, super light rods, and I have a couple of the mediums, which, great for, a little bit upper slot reds and over. They're going to be great for redfish in Louisiana. For trout rods, go down to a medium light.
How's the trout fishing been?
The trout fishing down my way, it hasn't really kicked off yet. We've picked up a couple big ones here and there. This springtime is great for those big spawning females. That's when you catch your really heavy trout. Our trout in the Carolinas tend to be bigger bodied. So, catching a 24, 25-inch trout here, could be anywhere from 4.5 to 6 pounds, especially if they still have their roe.
We've been starting to get some big ones.
Yeah.
So they'll probably be down your way. So we got a full moon right now, and then we got a new moon at the end of the month.
Yep.
I'm counting on that new moon is going to be the big trout time.
I think it'll turn on then. I think a lot of the trout down in our area kind of pushed back out into the ocean when we had that freeze, and they're just slowly making their way back in. We hadn't gotten on a stellar trout bite yet. I know you have.
Kinda. We're getting there.
Yeah,
we're getting there. We've been throwing this. I know you throw lots of artificials on your charters too for trout. This is the Trout Eye X jig head. It's the newer one from iStrike, and that is the darters in the beer run color. And I've got it trimmed down a little bit. You can see I cut about 1 inch off the front. That has been a very good bait. That's a 3/16 ounce jig. You love the 3/16.
Little stouter hook on those jig heads too, which is great for redfish.
Spinner baits. So I've had some of you guys drop comments and message me on Instagram about spinner baits. So these are my favorite ones to throw. This is the Cajun Slam from Aqua Dream, the super heavy duty wire. Got the blade. I think it's a size 3 or 4 inch blade. And then I swapped the hook out with a Texas eye. So you can see I got the Texas eye on there. We'll put the crab or anything like that on there. But those work good, especially here in South Carolina. This time of year, if you're fishing muddy water, I like to pump and pause. So pull up like you're doing an arm curl with a weight, and then let that lure fall. And a lot of times that's when the redfish will crush that. If the water's a little stained, like after all this rain, you might find one tied on our rods. There's something else I want to talk about, Nick. Oh, fishing spots. We've been looking at charts for Louisiana. Let me go grab a chart real quick, guys. All right, I went and grabbed us a chart. So this is the Delacroix area. I will say, Nick, what are some things that you look for when you look at an area that you haven't been to? Nick has not been to this area. What are some things you look for when you're going to new water? So whether it's Louisiana, Florida, South Carolina, what are you looking for?
So
show us on here. Just pick something.
I personally like to look for something that is a little bit tighter of an area, but it has access to bigger water if the fish do need to move out. And obviously, looking at a map, you know, you don't always have the depth. You don't know if there's bait there. You don't know what the bottom is like. But I like to, you know, especially fish in Louisiana, I like to fish the more broken marsh. I'm not a huge open water fisherman. You know, especially fishing here in Charleston, I like to fish marsh. So, you know, finding areas with a lot, like a vast area of broken marsh that you can just troll and motor around, but then it's also close enough to where fish can drop into like an old bayou or something and slide out into bigger water. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, kind of what I'm looking at. Some of this big water, you know, I'm sure it could be very, very productive. But when you don't have a lot of time, you know, covering as much water as possible is definitely key. I think we're going to have
that move trolling motor.
Yeah, that move trolling motor is going to be huge for us. We're going to have 3 or 4 days to pre-fish and then 3 days of tournament fishing. Ideally, you know, pre-fishing, we find everything we need and we don't have to really fish a whole lot of new stuff on tournament days. But, you know, if we do really well early on one day, we'll probably go fish some new water and practice. And kind of practice for day 2, day 3.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun with a 3-day setup. You know, pending we do well, which we will. Winner's mindset, but pending we do well, we'll be fishing 3 days of tournament in a row, which I'm pumped for. You know, the Bassmaster Elites do 4 days if you make the cut, and you know, it's a lot more skill and planning and preparation involved. And
it's more to having just one little honey hole spot where on a 1-day tournament you could, you know, do really well. If you only have one spot for this 3-day tournament, you know, you could really struggle.
Yeah.
You know, you might do well one day, but the next 2 days you're in for it. So hopefully we can go down there and, you know, find 5 or 6 good areas with fish and, you know, cover some water and find those 9-pounders.
It'll be fun. But, you know, so Nick likes broken marsh areas, which if you watch some of our videos, all this kind of comes out when you go back and watch. But and I like points, and Nick does too, but for me it's points. I've always done well with points. So when I'm looking at an area on a chart, I will just pinpoint all the points, and normally I'll just run and gun all the points, and normally that works for me. So taking a broken marsh area that Nick finds, I will be like, hey, let's go hit these points. Bam. So a lot of cool things, guys, coming down the pipes. Nick's going to be in a lot of our YouTube videos here. I like to fish with Nick. He's very smart. He's a heck of a fishing tournament angler and partner. Heck of a guide. You know, he does group trips with us a lot. He's got a rockin' business. He's been in business longer than I have. So anyway, anything else you want to add before we close out?
That covers what we're talking about today.
Sweet. Oh, we got a Florida video coming soon, and then the Go Live will come soon, and then this Louisiana tournament will come soon. We gotta get those going, but hopefully you guys like this video. If you like this, please let us know in the comments so we can do more of these. Nick and I will be happy to do more educational videos. We both also offer educational trips where we could go on our boat or your boat and just coach you along, you know, help you tie knots, you know, teach you how to throw a cast net, teach you how to throw artificials, break down new water, what to look for. So I know Nick offers those as well as I do. So hit us up for that, guys. We are always happy to help you learn more and catch more fish. So that said, guys, that's all I've got. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you back here on Thursday for the Fish Report. Captain Stephen Fleet Jr. signing out.